So my name is Rain. I am, hate to count, but I think I am 39 this year. So I live in Singapore, and I have a family with two kids. For more than 20 years, I've always had this sin that was bothering me. And this was all the way from childhood, where as I approached puberty when I was 11 or 12, I had this sense that I was not fully female. Yeah, so that's the part of the trans journey that is going to come in. And in puberty, basically, I visualized myself as a male, but was then told by my good and well-intending Christian friends that that was a delusion. And of course, going further into conservative Christianity, reinforced that those are only delusions. You should bury it away, and you should submit yourself to God's ways, as the Bible writes. So for more than 20 years, I've had these recurring dreams, sometimes nightmares, where I am trying to turn myself into a male, and everything keeps reverting back. And every time I try to suppress it, it only comes back. And every time I tell myself, oh, it's a sin, you have to kill it, you have to kill it. So it's kind of like self-flagellation. Yeah. And I think that when you do certain things that's counter to the way that you're born, to the way that you're made, then it will hit a point where you need to address it, because it's not something that you can remove from your spirit. So I did hit that point. And as with most things that we would rather push away, we usually distract ourselves with other things, right? That's why there's entertainment as such a large industry in this world. So when I finally faced that I had something to address, that's actually when I left PNG. So after really slowing down and being in that quiet space where God exists, where my relationship with God is, this whole buried issue came flooding out. The everything that I had suppressed about my transgender identity, which was also layered on with my sexual identity. Yeah. So how I identify is that I'm a transgender male, maybe gender fluid, but those are just convenient labels and buckets. And in terms of sexual orientation, I'm attracted to men. Yeah. So because of this layering on of gender identity and sexual orientation, that's why I never figured it out back when I was growing up as a teenager, because back then gender identity and sexual orientation was seen as one thing. It was only somewhere between the 10 years when I wasn't reading up on any of this literature that science actually started teasing apart these two different character or identity of a person. Yeah. So when that happened, of course, certain things broke loose. I also had to give it time, give the self-identification time in order to grapple with my spiritual journey with God, because my indoctrination was saying that this is wrong. Like, this was what you rejected many years ago, so why is it that you are entertaining it now? Is it because that you have stopped believing in Jesus Christ? So, and at the same time, I was just spending time in quiet meditation with God, with words from the Bible. And there was one evening when I remember quite clearly, when I was jogging and I was just listening to see whether God would speak. And there was just a clear question in my head, is like, do you love your child, because I've got 2 kids. And I thought it was such a strange question. It's like, of course, I love them. And it's not that they need to do anything to be better, or they don't even need to do anything. They just are, and I just love them. And then the revelation came to me that that is the way it is. I with you as well. That's God with us. That there is really nothing that we need to be done. All those are human expectations, societal expectations. That truly everyone is a beloved of God. Yeah. And that was the tipping point for me for accepting my own identity. Yeah. Then I gave it time, as I said, because I needed to be sure before sharing with my partner, who by then we had been together 15 years. So we had a very good conversation. I think that he really took it as well as I could expect anyone to be able to take it. Of course, it did shake up his world a bit, because he identifies as a heterosexual cis male. And that changed certain things in our relationship. But I would say that we hold a lot of common values and principles, and one of that is that the family comes first. So not just the kids, but also our parents. What is the best family social unit that would best support everybody and each other? So that has always been our way of working through our differences.
Would you also have a message for people who are trans or exploring their identity and sexual orientation, and who maybe don't know how that reconciles with a faith journey?
In the trans journey, I think personally for myself, because every trans journey is different, but just as every identity, every person is different, and I've great respect for that. What I do find that has been helpful is really learn how to love yourself, learn how to find others that love you, then learn how to love others who don't love you.
Rain, thanks so much for doing this. It means so much to me.
No problem. It's my pleasure. As I said, that I find that I'm very much a work in progress. I am very much loved by the people surrounding me, and that has been one of my greatest privilege and one of my greatest source of strength. That even when I am behaving very badly, and even when I feel that I really don't have a right to be loved, there have been people around me who loved me. So yeah, I'm thankful for that.
Thank you.